Once upon a time, in a sun-dappled corner of a lush forest, there lived a clever fox known for his cunning ways. He was the kind of creature who could charm anyone with his smooth words and quick wit. The fox prided himself on his ability to outsmart his neighbors, often playing tricks that left them bewildered. Yet, despite his cleverness, he often found himself lonely, for his antics had earned him a reputation as a trickster. One day, while wandering through the woods, the fox came across a stork. The stork was a graceful bird, known for her long legs and elegant demeanor. She was a gentle soul who enjoyed the company of her friends and took pride in her ability to provide for them. The fox, noticing the stork's pristine feathers and dignified posture, felt a twinge of jealousy. He had never been one to appreciate the beauty of others, often too consumed by his own schemes to notice the world around him. But this time, the stork intrigued him. The fox approached the stork with a charming smile, pretending to befriend her. "Dear stork," he said, "how about we share a meal together? I have the most delightful dish prepared at my den. You simply must try it." The stork, who was not only wise but also kind-hearted, sensed the fox's ulterior motives. However, she decided to accept the invitation, hoping that perhaps the fox had changed and was genuinely interested in friendship. When they arrived at the fox's den, the stork was greeted by a delightful sight. A table laid out with a sumptuous spread. The fox had prepared a feast of all his favorite foods, roasted meats, rich cheeses, and savory pies. The stork, however, could only watch as the fox dug in, savoring each bite with exaggerated delight. The stork, with her long beak, could not partake in the meal. She could only sip delicately from the shallow dishes the fox had set out, which were designed for his own enjoyment. As the fox feasted, he noticed the stork's disappointment. "Why so glum, dear friend?" he asked, feigning concern. The stork replied, "It seems that this meal is not quite suited for me, dear fox. I would have preferred something I could enjoy too." The fox chuckled, thinking it was all in good fun. "Ah, but you must appreciate the effort I put into this feast," he said, waving a paw dismissively. The stork, feeling a mix of frustration and sadness, decided to remain polite. After all, she had come to share a meal, not to create a scene. Days passed, and the stork pondered over the fox's behavior. She decided that it was not right to let the fox's trickery go unanswered. Instead of retaliating with malice, she resolved to teach him a lesson about empathy and fairness. The stork was not one to seek revenge. Her heart was too gentle for that. Instead, she planned a meal of her own, one that would show the fox the importance of treating others as he wished to be treated. The next week, the stork invited the fox to her home, a serene marsh where the sun glimmered on the water's surface. "Come, dear fox," she said sweetly, "I have prepared a special meal for us to enjoy together." The fox, intrigued and eager to see what the stork had in store, accepted the invitation without hesitation. When the fox arrived, he was greeted by the sight of a table set with the finest delicacies of the marsh. There were fish, fresh and glistening, and a variety of insects, all laid out in a manner that was truly inviting. The stork, with her long neck, was able to feast with joy, dipping her beak into the sumptuous spread. But the fox, as he approached the table, realized that the food was served in deep, narrow bowls, designed perfectly for the stork's beak, but utterly inaccessible for him. The fox tried to reach in, but his snout could not fit into the bowls. He looked at the stork, who was enjoying her meal with grace. "Dear stork," he said, his voice tinged with frustration, "this is not fair. I cannot eat anything." The stork paused, her eyes reflecting understanding and compassion. "Ah, dear fox, how does it feel to be in my position?" she asked gently. "I came to your den, and you served me a meal that I could not enjoy. Today I wanted to show you how it feels to be excluded." The fox's face fell, and he felt a wave of embarrassment wash over him. He realized that he had been so focused on his own enjoyment that he had failed to consider the stork's feelings. The lesson was clear. He had treated her poorly, and now he was experiencing the same discontent he had inflicted upon her. "I see now," he said, his voice softening. "I was thoughtless. I should have treated you as I would want to be treated." The stork smiled, sensing that the fox had learned something valuable. "Empathy and fairness are the foundations of true friendship," she said. "We must always consider the needs and feelings of others, just as we wish for our own to be respected." The fox nodded, feeling a warmth in his heart that he had not felt in a long time. He had learned a lesson that day, one that would change the way he interacted with others. From that moment on, the fox made a conscious effort to be more considerate. He invited the stork and other forest creatures to share meals, ensuring that everyone had something to enjoy. The stork, in turn, welcomed the fox into her world, teaching him about the beauty of the marsh and the importance of community. They became unlikely friends, united by the understanding that treating others with kindness and empathy was the true essence of friendship. As the seasons changed, so did the fox. He became known not just for his cleverness, but also for his generosity and fairness. The stork, with her gentle spirit, had opened his eyes to a world beyond tricks and schemes. Together they created a bond that flourished in the warmth of mutual respect and understanding, proving that sometimes the greatest lessons come from the most unexpected friendships.